Good day, everyone. Welcome to V-Class TV. This is Teacher Jackie. This week we will focus on analyzing figures of speech used in literary texts. For that, we have the following learning objectives to tackle this week. Welcome to Day 1. Get ready with your notebook and pen to take note of important points for our discussion today. Let's review. What was your past lesson about? What are the parts of the plot? Here are the parts of the plot that we discussed in our previous lesson: exposition, conflict, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. We had also the story Night of the Moon. Now, let's try to do it again, the plot analysis that we did last week. Based on the story, provide the needed information in the plot diagram below. If I were to answer this plot diagram, I will answer it in the easiest way possible like this. For exposition, I'm gonna write, it was bedtime. Yasmin's mom talked about the moon. The conflict of the story is, during Ramadan, many Muslims would fast. Rising action is when parties began and Yasmin got to visit friends and relatives. The climax of the story is when the night of the moon came and Yasmin received many gifts and Eid money. The falling action would be Yasmin and her dad set the telescope up. And the resolution would be Yasmin was excited for the next Ramadan. Now we are done with the plot diagram. Let's proceed. In the following activity, your teacher may ask you to write your answer on your notebook or you show your answer on the Show Me board. Unjumble the letters inside the box to come up with the correct word that it represents. Let's check your work. 1. Simile. 2. Metaphor. 3. Personification. 4. Assonance. 5. Hyperbole. 6. Consonance. 7. Alliteration. 8. Onomatopoeia. The terms you have unjumbled are next to our discussion. Now, what are these words? And are these words used in the story The Night of the Moon? Let us try to do this activity to get more familiar with these terms. Write the letter of your choice on your notebook. Match the figures of speech in column A to their descriptions in column B. Let us continue with this slide. Let us check your work. If you got 5 points and up, it means that you are already familiar with these terms. If you did not reach 5 points, please look for the meaning of these words and study them tonight as a homework. Welcome to Day 2. If you are learning from this video, like and subscribe for more. Today, we are going to focus on the different figures of speech. We will discuss them one by one with examples. Figures of speech are literary devices used to convey meaning beyond literal interpretation. These are essential tools for writers, poets, and communicators to convey nuanced ideas and emotions. Let's begin with simile. A simile compares two different things using the words like or as to highlight similarities between them. Let's have these examples. Her smile was as bright as the sun. He fought like a lion in the battle. The water was as clear as crystal. What's the purpose of a simile? Well, similes create vivid imagery and make descriptions more relatable by comparing the unfamiliar to something familiar. Metaphor is another. A metaphor directly compares two different things by stating that one thing is another without using like or as. For example, time is a thief. The world is a stage. He has a heart of stone. The purpose of metaphors is to convey complex ideas in a more relatable and impactful way by directly equating one thing with another. Next, we have personification. Personification attributes human qualities to animals, objects, or ideas. For example, the wind whispered through the trees. The car groaned as it climbed the hill. And the flowers danced in the breeze. What's the purpose of personification? Personification brings inanimate objects to life, making descriptions more dynamic and engaging. Then we have hyperbole. Hyperbole involves extreme exaggeration for emphasis or effect, not meant to be taken literally. For example, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. I have a million things to do. And he ran faster than the speed of light. What's the purpose? Hyperbole emphasizes a point or evokes strong emotions by making dramatic and exaggerated statements. We also have consonance. Consonance is the repetition of consonant sounds, typically at the end of words or within words. For example, the lumpy bumpy road. Mike likes his new bike. The ship has sailed to the far off shores. Purpose? Consonance creates a pleasing rhythm and enhances the musicality of language. We also have assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds within closely placed words. For example, the early bird catches the worm. The light of the fire is a sight to admire. I might like to fight. And the purpose? Assonance affects the mood and rhythm, making phrases more memorable and lyrical. And yes, we have alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the same initial consonant sounds in a sequence of words. Say, for example, she sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Wild and woolly. What's the purpose? Alliteration enhances rhythm and mood, making text more engaging and easier to remember. Lastly, we have onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia uses words that imitate natural sounds. For example, the bees buzzed in the garden. The bacon sizzled in the pan. The clock ticked loudly in the silent room. What's the purpose? Onomatopoeia adds a sensory dimension to writing, allowing readers to hear the sounds described. Let's apply what you learned today with this homework. Read the story Night of the Moon again. On your notebook, write down the figures of speech that you can find in the story. Welcome to Day 3. If you want more of our educational content, follow VClass TV on Facebook and TikTok. The story Night of the Moon used figures of speech efficiently. Check out what I have found. Here are some of the figures of speech used in the Night of the Moon story. Number 1. Simile. The moon glows like a silver lantern in the night sky. This simile compares the moon to a silver lantern, enhancing its visual appeal and emphasizing its brightness. Number 2 is metaphor. Yasmin's heart was full of the light of Ramadan. This metaphor compares Yasmin's heart to being full of light, symbolizing the joy and spiritual fulfillment she feels during Ramadan. Number 3. Personification. The stars twinkled with a knowing smile. The stars are personified with the ability to smile, giving them human-like qualities and adding to the magical atmosphere of the night. Number 4. Alliteration. Families feast and follow the faith. The repetition of the F sound in families, feast, and follow creates a rhythmic effect that ties the actions together. Number 5. Onomatopoeia. The call to prayer echoed with a soothing hum. The word hum imitates the sound of the call to prayer, adding auditory imagery to the scene. Number 6. Hyperbole. The delicious aroma of the feast could draw people from miles away. This hyperbole exaggerates the appeal of the feast, emphasizing how tempting and inviting the food is. With the examples we just had, I hope that you can identify the figures of speech on your own. Let us have the next activity to see that you have learned something already. Read the following statements and identify the figure of speech used. Write your answer on your notebook. Let's check your work. If you got 5 points and up, congratulations! Now, try to write a sentence using each of the figures of speech that have been discussed. Welcome to day 4. If you are interested in the PowerPoint presentation used in this video lesson, join our growing channel now. Let us now have your formative assessment. Read all the questions, then choose the best answer for each item. You may write the answer on your notebook depending on what your teacher says. 1. Which of the following is a simile? Two. Identify the metaphor. Three. Which sentence contains personification? Four. What statement uses hyperbole? Five. Which sentence uses consonance? Six. Identify the sentence with assonance. Seven. Which of the following sentences contains alliteration? 8. Which of the following sentences uses onomatopoeia? 9. What figure of speech is used in this sentence? The night was as black as coal. 10. Identify the figure of speech used in the statement. Time flies when you're having fun. 11. Which sentence is an example of consonance? 12. Choose the sentence with assonance. 13. Identify the example of alliteration. 14. Which of these sentences contains onomatopoeia? 15. What figure of speech is used in the sentence, "The ocean waves kissed the shore"? Now let's check your work. Unfortunately, I only share the answer key to the members of our growing channel. So click the join button now and proceed to the membership process if you want to. Exclusive perks await our solid members. Find us on Facebook and TikTok too. Once again, this has been Teacher Jackie saying, discover, learn, have fun only at V-Class TV. Until next time.